thank all of you for doing this. To set the stage a little bit on my nomination, you have to understand how Gallup was hit by COVID, because the rest of the state hasn't experienced it in the magnitude that Gallup did. But when it hit Gallup, we had clients testing positive. We had staff members testing positive. We had family members of the staff members testing positive. We had staff with multiple family members dying from COVID. I've lost 3 clients from COVID, a house manager to COVID. It hit hard and people were scared, and it was a very valid fear. And so Tammy worked in the house with 4 individuals. And when one of the house staff tested positive, she was put in the place of calling the rest of the staff to let them know. And as she called them, everybody quit on the spot. And Tammy stepped up and continued to work. The agency offered her, I don't know what they offered her, to stay on 24/7, but I don't think they could have pried her away from the house if they'd wanted to. For about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, I'm not entirely sure, without even going home to pack a bag. And when I finally started to put together what was happening, it was at least a week in. And I called her up and was like, do you have your toiletries and, you know, change of clothes? And she's like, no, because I'm using soap to wash my hair. And we had t-shirts that we were going to tie dye, and I'm using those to sleep in. Her supervisor had worked 3 days straight with no sleep, covering shifts elsewhere, because it was just horrible situations with COVID. And it was horrible situations out in Gallup. And Tammy stepped up. She didn't leave. When everybody else was scared and quit, she stayed. And when I called and talked to her, she was, the emotion in her voice, the amount she cared for the clients was just overwhelming and moving to me. And it was her telling me that she's cleaning all the time, and that she was scared that regardless of how much she cleaned, they were going to catch it. And unfortunately they did. And so did she. And her testing positive was the only thing that got her out of the house and taking a break. And even at that, when she was in isolation, every time I talked to her, it wasn't about her, it was about how are my clients doing. And one of them passed away. It's been a very emotional time for everybody out there. But as soon as she got the doctor's release, she was back at the house, taking care of them and making sure that when the others was there to welcome them back, that they had that face that knew them and that support system there. So getting to know her over these last couple of months, I'm in awe of the level of passion that she has for her clients. They're not clients, and it's not a job. It's her heart. Nominated her for this.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. That is phenomenal. And Tammy, we would like to turn the mic over to you. And if you're up to it, it would be awesome to hear from you a little bit about what you've been through.
I wrote a little something. My passion. I love my job. I care deeply for my clients and my staff. They are beautiful, perfectly created individuals made in the image of God. I am truly privileged to have worked in this field for 26 years. I am humbled by the acknowledgement from New Mexico Allies for Advocacy and for Julie nominating me. I truly believe someday we will come face to face with the people we work with and served, and they will say to us, thank you. Thank you for helping me during my life. I do believe we are accountable for making someone's life good or bad. Let us continue to serve each other and one another with love, respect, dignity, and compassion. Thank you very much for your consideration.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for those beautiful words.
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay, I'd like to hear from some of the other New Mexico allies.
That was so beautiful.
Yeah, it was. It was. And Shauna, what did you wanted to say?
It's all about us clients, like the clients in the home. They're
Yes.
taking care of us. They're
Mhm.
making sure we're well and fed and everything.
Exactly.
When they talk about the frontline workers, they're talking about you. It's tears to my eyes. What a
Yeah.
lovely,
Definitely.
yeah. Well, I'm just so grateful for you.
Stepped up to the bat.
Yeah. It was hard, believe me. I felt very lonely, even though I had support from my supervisors. I almost felt very abandoned, but at the same time, I knew I had a purpose. And the purpose was to serve. And it's such a privilege to do such a very important job and to help someone in their life, and it just makes me feel so, the only word that keeps coming to mind is love. That we do love one another. We're here to help each other. So yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a question. Tammy, how are you feeling now? How are you doing?
I am good most days, but there are some things that sometimes trigger me. Sometimes I feel like we need a little bit more support because, we chose to come back. We chose to work with the individuals that are still there. But sometimes I think we do need like support. I'm not sure, we can get counseling and stuff, but just maybe COVID survivor support.
I'm thankful that we were able to get together at this opportunity, that we actually came up with this idea, did a GoFundMe page, and then were able to receive nominations and donations so that you could get a cash bonus. But, we definitely want to continue doing this to recognize people who've gone above and beyond like you two have. And we say thank you so very, very much. Right, ladies? Thank you. Here's to you all. Right, guys?
Yeah.
We celebrate you all. Thank you so much.